Hi, this is Phil Hartman with PH Fabrication and Horton Race Cars. Just wanted to give you guys a weekly shop update. Hope everyone's doing well. So if you've subscribed to my YouTube channel, I want to say thank you. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please check me out at PH Fabrication. You'll be able to keep up to date with all the weekly shop updates along with any other videos we post. So you can see the A-Fuel car is out of the shop. It actually left yesterday and back with the customer. I'm really excited to see that car get put together and Megan Smith getting her license. Hopefully that happens at the end of this year or early next. But the bay won't stay empty for long. I've got a car coming in that just needs a few updates on a roll cage, so I'll be able to get that car in and out. Also this week we've made quite a bit of progress on the land speed car. So over here on the nose, J-Ed was able to get the front lips put in. Now these fiberglass lips will seal against the aluminum front wheel tubs. Now this keeps the salt from going everywhere and kind of keeps it contained in the wheel wells. Also, on the canopy, we've been working with different style hinges, and we came up with a gooseneck style hinge. A lot of aircraft use this style of a hinge. The hinge will actually lift the canopy and also tilt. Now we need it to lift to get it off the body a little bit so the nose doesn't dig in, but I believe it turned out really pretty nice. We still have to mount it to the canopy, and the hinge still needs to be mounted into the body and onto the chassis. Now this canopy is pretty much finished. We have a few supports to add to it, along with creating a latch system to allow it to fit tightly against the body. Also, on the nose of the car, we've been working on the front suspension, along with getting the axle in place, the steering's in place. Now we're going to try to get the front wheels on next week to adjust the toe end. The toe end will be close for the customer, but it'll always change once they get weight in the car. So we'll have to readjust it a little bit, but we'll at least get them a baseline to start with. We also got the bottles all mounted. Now they're not in place, but you can see the tabs there. And that is the CO2 bottle, the fresh air bottle, along with the fire bottle. Also, you can see we have the front bulkhead out. Now we took the front bulkhead out in order to rub on it a little bit more, make it fit the body a little bit nicer. But with the bulkhead out, you can see a few things. So that's a set of air jacks. This car's gonna have 4 air jacks on, and the air jacks will actually allow the customer to lift the car up about 15 inches off the ground and be able to work on the car without putting jack stands under it. Now if he needs to go taller, he can lift it up higher with boards and get it up even higher yet. But the air jacks are great for when you're out at the salt flats. You're not worried about jack stands. You're not trying to get a jack underneath the car where that has a full belly pan. But we have the air jack in place just so we can figure out hole locations for our belly pan. Now you can also see another bulkhead or a plate. Now this is a 1/4 inch steel or a 1/4 inch thick aluminum plate. And this is just to protect the driver's feet. If a tire ever came apart, it's a kind of a last resort to keeping the driver safe. Now, it would take a lot for something to go through that. But the biggest thing on this car is keeping the driver safe at all costs. So that's what you see there. Now back here on the back half of the car, we were able to get the fuel tank built and this rear bulkhead finished. So you can see the bungs for the fuel tank. It's roughly a 5 to 6 gallon fuel tank and is right behind the driver. There is another bulkhead between the driver and the fuel tank, so it adds more protection. This car will be powered on diesel fuel. It's got a Mercedes inline 6 diesel motor with a turbo 400 transmission. And that's what will be powering it. But you can also see here we got the cold water tank. Now we added a return bung there. And then we've got the pickup down there, which is right near the water pump, and that will keep the engine cool instead of using a radiator. Back here, we've been working a little bit with the rear end. The rear end is squared up, and that part is done. But we still have to finish up some stuff with the rear suspension. Everything's built. It's just making sure everything comes together the way we planned. Also on the parachute tubes, you can see we got them tied together. I had Jeremy this week. He got them solid mounted to the chassis along with tying both tubes together, and this way nothing moves. So the parachutes are pretty much mounted and ready to go there. Also, you can see the center mass for the rear fin. Now the rear fin won't be that tall, but we were able to get it turned down and fit into the receiver that's underneath the car. Now this center mass is the first part of the rear fin, and we'll hopefully start building that in the next week or two. But that's pretty much it for on the Land Speed car. Like I said, I apologize for the mess in the shop. It's been kind of a busy week. So now over here, got a few things going on. Chris Dunn brought us a blower a few weeks back, and we were able to get it restripped, along with sending it off to Tinsley Custom Coatings. Jake Tinsley does an awesome job at powder coating, and always great turnarounds and great service. So if you need any powder coating, please check him out. But the blower is completely stripped and ready to go, and just waiting on Chris to pick it up, hopefully this next week. Another project we got in the shop is the Thunder Bunny Racing hood. We just got to do a few louver panels to it. I know these are some custom louvers that they did quickly at the track, and heck, they turned out pretty nice. But we're going to do a few different style louvers for them to help with cooling of the motor. Another thing I'm going to talk about a little bit. Now, I'm always looking to give my customers the best options when it comes to materials. And this is something that I haven't really played with a whole lot, and maybe some of you out there have. And if you have, please send me any tips or tricks that I would greatly appreciate. So this is some Docol R8 tubing. Now NHRA, I've been told, has approved it, but I am not sure yet, so I'm going to verify that. But this material is supposed to be 15% stronger than chromoly. Supposed to have a wall thickness that is more consistent than chromoly, but it's also a little bit more rigid. So not sure how it would work on a dragster yet, but I know some teams have thought about using it and seeing how it works. So this tubing I got in for my own personal project. I'm thinking about building a street rod frame with it, kind of a little space frame instead of the traditional street rod or hot rod frames. And this also gives me a chance to kind of play with the material and kind of get my own opinion about it. But one thing I do try to do for all my customers, and that is give them the best quality material along with other options that are out there. And who knows, this might be the next thing we do roll cages out of if a customer wants a lightweight roll cage. So I'll keep you up to date on how this turns out. But I hope everyone is having a great weekend, and I will keep you all up to date. Thank you for watching.